Time now for Bob Hines Fly Tying Corner, brought to you by David Parecka's River and Riptide Anglers, conveniently located off Interstate 95 at 2435 Nooseneck Hill Road in Coventry, Rhode Island. At River and Riptide Anglers, you'll find a full range of fly fishing products, rods and reels, outer gear, and fly tying materials. Now here's the captain, Bob Hines.
We're going to be tying a Clouser Minnow here this afternoon. Probably the staple go-to fly for striped bass, and very easy to tie, and it catches a mess of fish. So let's get started. I'm starting out with a 3/4 007 stainless steel mustad hook. This happens to be a size 1. You can tie them in 2/0 all the way down to size 2, depending upon the size of the bait you want to represent. I'm going to use a fine mono thread for this particular fly. I like using the mono thread because it's conducive to all different colors of flies. You don't have to keep changing your colored thread. And we're going to start just about 1/8 of an inch behind the eye of the fly. And I'm going to tie my thread in. And then I'm going to cut off that little bit of excess thread. Wrap after wrap, wrap over wrap. And what the purpose of this is it's going to build a little bit of a foundation where I'm going to tie in my lead dumbbell eyes right on the top of the shank of the hook. And what we do is a little tricky. You want to kind of get them started and do a little bit of figure 8. So you come through the dumbbell eyes through the middle, then back around the opposite way going towards the back of the hook. And then what you're going to do is you're going to kind of figure 8 them. And the best way to lock them in is come right along the top of the shank. As you can see, I'm pulling around the back of the eyes and pulling forward. And then what we'll do is we'll just finish the wrap. Now everybody has their own little tricks and secrets to the trade when they tie certain patterns. I like using a lot of color in my flies, a little bit of flash. What it does is it acts like an attractant, and sometimes it'll induce a strike when all other materials won't work. 8 to 10 strands of that holographic flashaboo, and I'm going to tie that in right in front of the dumbbell eyes. And then I'm going to come behind the eyes and tie it in there as well. And what that'll do is that'll secure it quite nicely. That little bit of gold extends quite long. You could actually put a little bit of super glue or Zap-A-Gap, which helps hold all your materials. The next step we're going to do is we're going to take some white bucktail, a good size piece, and then we want to take and pull out the little shorts, as you can see it. And as this fly goes through the water with the lead dumbbell eyes on the hook shank, obviously that weight, when you cast it, is going to flip that fly over. So the hook point is going to be riding upward. So it actually be going through the water like that. Bait fish that we try to represent usually have white bellies. So we're just going to take this little bit of bucktail and we're going to hold it and we're going to tie it in front of the lead dumbbell eyes and get a couple of nice wraps right behind the eyes. Now the trick is you don't want to tie it in real tight initially, because if you do, what will happen is your bucktail is just going to splay right out and it's not going to look right. You're just going to repeat the process, but this time we're going to get the thread in front of those lead dumbbell eyes again. And now we're going to take a little bit different color bucktail. I'm a big fan of olive and white Clousers along with the chartreuse and white. And I'll just cut those butt sections, get them nice and straight. I'm going to tie those in front of the eyes, but this time on the underside of the hook, the bottom of the hook shank. Once again, tie it in a few loose wraps first, and now I'm just going to flip the fly upright again so I can finish it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to build up a nice head, like so. We're going to do a little whip finish, and we'll just repeat the process once again, just to give it a little insurance, just in case that first wrap comes loose. And that pretty much completes the Clouser Minnow.
For more information, call River and Riptide Anglers at 401-392-1919 or email us at info@riverandriptide.com.